How have you found being part of developing research into supporting people affected by RB?
I found it really interesting because, especially this research in particular, growing up I always felt like there wasn't quite that support for say like the families who are going through the diagnosis like currently, which is obviously the most active time, but also for adults later down the line. But teenagers were sort of missed because obviously it's such an important time when you're growing up and you're going through all these changes, but there wasn't really any sort of structured support there, and I just think this research is going to help that so much, and to be able to be part of that for future generations, it feels really special actually.
Yeah, I think we all come from the same sort of generation where it's the idea was that you get cancer, you get treated, that's it. Like there isn't any sort of long-term psychological effect to it. At least that's what was thought when we were all treated, and obviously we know that that's not the case now, and being able to be part of something that will make sure that there are these supports and safeguards in place for future generations is a really incredible experience that I feel really privileged to be part of.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that wasn't that or isn't that, because like it kind of seems obvious, like it's going to have a massive impact on everyone's mental health.
Mm.
People I talked to were so surprised that there isn't like routine, like sort of screening or routine questions asked, and it's not there at the moment, but it's really going to be exciting to see what happens in the future.
I'm really like glad we've done this, because even if like one person who was like me is like listening to this right now, and you know, and feels like they haven't got like any support, or you know there aren't things like this, like it is out there, so
Yeah.
Join us.
yeah.
Yes. We always want to meet more people. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the take home is like it's when we meet up like this, it's just a good atmosphere, like, you know, and it's, you know, I like to think of it as like the silver lining from all of it, like it's
100%.
getting to come along to something like this, meet people like you, and yeah.
I also think it's so incredible, especially like the research side of it. We can all sit down and have like not necessarily a serious discussion, but a sort of genuine discussion about our different experiences and finding how in some ways they're so similar and in some ways they're so different. But we all, I think it's always amazing to me how sort of genuine and understanding everyone is when we talk together as a group. And I think sometimes with RB that can be quite hard to think of, even if you're like not talking to people, especially because everyone tends to have such different treatment and such different outcomes that it can be quite hard to sort of feel like you fit in. But when you actually sit and talk to people, you realise that there is this one thing that unites us, and especially with that research, I think it's really opened the door for us to talk about that.